And that's strike three, his second strikeout of the ball game. And we'll go on to the middle of the first inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, none left on base. And so far, Avoyelles Charter 0, Grace Christian 0. This is Lamar Gafford for GSPN, and we'll be right back in a few minutes. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're right back here from the Burn, Merrill Blackburn Field at Josh Brown Stadium. This is Lamar Gafford for GSPN, and tonight's game between Grace Christian and Avoyelles Charter. So far, 0-0 in the bottom of the first inning. Let's talk about what Charter has coming up here. In the outfield, we have Zach Desjardins at left, Luke Guillory at center, and Huck Hill at right. Cooper Courtright. And Cooper Courtright getting ready to get in here for Grace Christian. And that'll be a ball by tonight's pitcher, Isaac Amon, here. So Amon is at the bump, and in the dish will be Trace Addison for the Vikings. Ball high there, so 2-0 count. The rest of the infield for Avoyelles Charter, we have Braylon Lacombe at third. And there will be a strike there by Isaac Amon. By the way, the other Amon, Jacob Amon, will be at the shortstop. Court right now facing a 3-1 count. The rest of the infield here, we have Alex Laborde at second base and William Miller at first. And the pitch. Courtright will foul that one up, and that'll be right behind us. And so now we got ourselves a full count, 3-2 count here. Thank you. All right, and the pitch. And he got Courtright to chase there for strike number 3. So now Amon got himself a strike here. Now back to the Warriors. Number 3, Tyler Accordo. So Tyler Accordo now coming up here for the Warriors. And the pitch. High, and that would be ball 1. So 1-0 count now to Accordo. We talked to Accordo at our Warrior Diamond Weekly segment, and he now has a 2-0 count. Coach Josh Brown was talking about how well he's been playing and how much of a good bat that he is in this lineup here. 2-1 count now to Accordo. And so far, we got ourselves a good matchup here. Isaac Amon he's really dealing in this one too. And the pitch. And Accordo will fly that one to center field, and that will be gone. A solo home run by Tyler Accordo. Flies that one to deep center field. And now Grace Christian strikes first in this one with a 1-0 lead in this ball game. And I tell you, he got all of that one, and that sailed right past center field, dead center field, to get the Warriors now their first lead the ball game here, 1-0. And now here comes Brady McDaniel coming up to the plate. seeing if he can duplicate that. Nice curve right there by Isaac Amon, and he'll drop that one in there for a strike. And here comes the pitch. Another curveball right there for Amon, and he'll drop that in there for another strike there. So 0-2 count here for McDaniel. Wanted something outside here. And he'll get him to go outside, but does not get McDaniel to chase. So now 1-2 count there for McDaniel. And the pitch. And that'll be low. So McDaniel will now battle his way to a 2-2 count here. 2-2, 1 out. Already Grace Christian got themselves a run here off of Tyler Ricoto's solo home run in the last at bat. And McDaniel, he'll hit that one hard as well. And let's see if that's going to go out. And yes, it does. Back-to-back jacks. And now it's Brady McDaniel makes it 2-0 here on his solo shot to left center field. And I tell you what, Grace Christian jumping out ahead. We talked to Josh Brown. He said, hey, I wish we could get the bat started early. Look at there, 2 solo home runs. That's a great way to do this thing here. And right now, Grace Christian taking a 2-0 lead on the Avoyelles Charter Vikings. And now here comes Logan Markle coming up to the plate. Now Markle has been doing pretty well pitching here, and we got ourselves a time situation. So we're gonna see what they're gonna do here. Oh, it looks like it's just to get the bat off the field. So there you go. Anyway, Logan Markle already started things off with 2 strikeouts pitching, and now he wants to see if he can get himself going at the plate. Markle lays off of that one, and that'll be a strike. So outside strike, 0-1 count. And the pitch. Markle will chop that one here, and he'll see if he can beat that one out. And he does. He beats that one out. Nice little chopper there, and the infielders a little bit of an indifference there, but Markle was able to beat that one out with his wheels, and nice hit for him. And right now, Grace Christian 3 straight hits to open up this ball game. Now up, Talon Epinette. Epinette playing center field tonight here for the Warriors. Epinette. And there we go. A little high up there, so it's going to be 1-0 count. Once again, Talon Epinette at the plate. We have Logan Markle at first base after beating out a chopper. And here comes the pitch. Strike there. And so Epinette now 1-1 count. We might differ a little bit there on the zone, but there we go. And so Markle able to beat the pickoff throw. Epinette once again at the plate here. 1-1 count, 1 out. And the pitch. Epinette, he'll hit that one hard, and he'll drop that one into the outfield. Looks like that might get in for a double, but he'll just take a single there, and Markle will slide right in there at third base, and he is safe. So we now have runners on the corners for Grace Christian. And right now, Grace is starting things out hot here at the plate. And again, getting Markle something to work with in the mound. Braden Wells now coming up to the plate here, the catcher for the Grace Christian Warriors. So he has runners on the corners. He has Markle at third. He has Epinette at first. And here comes the pitch. Strike there. So it's 0-1 count now to Wells. 2-0 lead here for Grace Christian. And they would love to get some more runs on the board here. And Wells, he has some intentions there to get some more runs on the plate, but he'll just foul that one right off the third base side. 0-2 count now for Wells. Amon's going to try to see if he can get out of this one here. And the pitch. Ball is low there. So that's going to be 1-2 there. So that's a way to kind of battle your way into this here in this case here. 1-2 counts here to Wells and the pitch. Got him to jam it inside there, but Wells was able to foul that one off, and he'll live to see another day. 1-2. 1-2. 1-2 step there. 1-2, and Wells will step back into the box. And Wells, he'll hit that one hard, but that'll go foul left field side. So, again, Wells battling his way here, trying to see if he can get himself a pitch that he likes. Once again, Grace Christian leading 2-0 in the bottom of the first inning. And the pitch. Ball right there. A-Bone misses his target there. 2-2 count now to Wells and the pitch. Wells, he'll chop that one to third base, and that'll be 6-4, and he will not try to double play there. So gets one runner out, but another runner gets in as Logan Marcos comes in home to make it now 3-0 Grace Christian. So that'll go down as a fielder's choice, but that'll also go down as an RBI for Braden Wells. Now coming up here will be Gage Fuller, left fielder here for Grace Christian, and the pitch. And just in the outside corner, got him here, painted that one there as A-Bone trying to battle his way here. Now 2 outs here. And hey, thank goodness we have a gate back there, and thank goodness we have netting back here. Or you would have heard me hitting the deck. All right, so 0-2 countdown to Gage Fuller. And Wells able to give right back there here on first base after that pickoff attempt. And here comes the pitch. And that's going to be ball right there. So high ball, and that's going to be 1-2. 1-2 again. Amon looks, and he'll fire. And that's going to be outside and high there. So 2-2 count now. Really appreciate the umpire also giving us the location of where these pitchers are going. But this time it gets Fuller to chase, and that'll end the inning right there. But not before here. Grace Christian gets 3 runs in here as well. So 3 runs, 4 hits, no errors, 1 left on base. And through 1 inning, Grace Christian now leads 3-0 on Avoyelles Charter. This is Lamar Gafford for GSPN, and we'll be right back in about 30 seconds to a minute here to start off the second inning. All right, we welcome you back to Merrill Blackburn Field at Josh Brown Stadium. This is Lamar Gafford for GSPN, Grace Sports and Programming Network. And right now, Grace Christian up 3-0 on the Avoyelles Charter. As Charter gets ready to get its second time of the bat here. We're going to have due up right now. Bronson Tassan, Braylon Lacombe, and Huck Hill will be coming up in this half of the inning. Right now, Tassan, the DH for the Vikings, is up at the plate, and he takes ball one there. Here comes the pitch. A ball outside of there. So 2-0 count now for Tassan. And Tassan will step off the plates and try to gather himself a little bit there. So he's going to try to get some practice throws here and get his arm right. But I think Tassan and Marco are ready to go. So Tassan digging inside here, close to the dish. And he'll drop that in. 3-0 count there. So right now, Grace now facing 3-0 here against Tassan. And fires that one in there for a strike. So 3-1 now here to Bronson Tassan. Inside there, Tassan will now face a full count here. Marco trying to battle his way back. And he got him a chase for strike 3. That'll be his third strikeout of the ball game. And I tell you what, Marco is on fire right now with 3 strikeouts early on in this ball game. Now up, Braylon Lacombe, third baseman for the Vikings. Ooh, inside, and he got out of the way of that one there. So 1-0 count there. And here comes the pitch. Ball's going to be low there, so 2-0 count. A little bit of power ratings here starting things off. Avoyelles Charter is 3-11 so far this season, but they've been in a lot of ball games. So the ball just hasn't been bouncing the right way here, but high there, 3-0 count. The Vikings have really been battling so hard this season. They were in a 1-1 game against Pineville, lost 3-0 against Buckeye at one point in the season. And as Lacombe now faces 3-1. But the Vikings right now, 25th in the power rating. So really trying to see if they can battle their way back here. 3-2 count. And just like what Marco was doing, he's battling his way from a 3-0 count. He'll fire that one in there, and Lacombe will foul that one off. We'll live to see another day. So 3-2 count once again. Charter so far this season, as I mentioned before, in district play, 0-4, but still a dangerous team that has a tradition of winning championships. Inside there by Lacombe, and he'll take his base for a walk. Here. So now up will be Huck Hill. Huck Hill, the right fielder for Avoyelles Charter. Huck Hill, lefty-lefty matchup here. And Marco will see if Lacombe will get right back there. He does get back there off the pickoff attempt. As I said before, Charter has been in some ball games so far. 3-0 loss to Buckeye. Also a 2-0 loss to Hicks. A 8-7 loss to Pineville. But they've been in ball games all season long. So this is a team that's continuing to learn, continuing to grow here. And as you can see what the Warriors did in the first inning with those 3 runs, they're not taking this team lightly here. All right, so Hill fouled that one off with a bunt. Pickoff attempt there. Lacombe gets right back to first base. A little bit of a close call there, but still was able to get there. 0-1 count, 1 out. 3-0 Grace leads in the top of the second. And here we go again. LeCompte will see if he can get the steal. He tried to swim move, but he's not able to get there, and he's thrown out trying to steal second base there. So good heady fielding and throwing here by the Warriors there to get that second out on that pickoff attempt. So now Hill has the bases empty. And a strike there, so 0-2 counts. And here comes the pitch. Hill strikes out there. And so now that's now 4 strikeouts here for Logan Markle, as he has been dealing so far in this ball game. No runs, no hits, no errors, none left on base. And that is the top of the second inning here for the Vikings. Grace Christian now leads 3-0 on the Avoyelles Charter as they get ready to get to the middle of the second inning. We'll be right back with GSPN in about 3 minutes. I mean, not 3 minutes, for about a minute. And ladies and gentlemen, we're right back here from Merrill Blackburn Field at Josh Brown Stadium. This is Lamar Gafford for GSPN. And tonight's game between Grace Christian and Avoyelles Charter. The Warriors now up 3-0 here, going into the bottom of the second inning and seeing if they can try to jump out a little bit more here in this one. We have JP Merrill coming up in this one here. Then we also have Easton Marler and Cooper Courtwright that will be due up in this half of the inning. Merrill now coming up here to the plate for Grace. And Merrill will swing, strike one there. As Isaac Amon will hope to have a better time coming up in this inning here. Kind of got roughed up in the last inning, and right now 0-2 count here, working his way to an 0-2 count against Merrill. And the pitch. And Merrill will drive that one to second base, and that's a boot there, and he still is able to get him out there on the play. So nice fielding there by Alex Laborde to still come away with the ball and fire that in there to William Miller for the play. 4-3 if you're scoring at home. All right, now coming up here, Easton Marler, 9-hole hitter for the Grace Christian Warriors. And here comes the pitch. All right, we got ourselves a mic check. 1-2, 1-2. Good to go. And here we go. And Marler now facing 0-2 count here after swinging at strike two. And here comes the pitch. Outside there. Try to see if he can get him to chase, but he does not. So a 1-2 count now to Easton Marler. And here comes the pitch. And Marler will swing at that one for strike three, and that'll be Amon's second strikeout out of the game here. So now Cooper Courtwright now coming up to the plate here and seeing if he can get himself on base and continue this inning here, this half inning here for the Warriors. And here comes the pitch, and that's going to be outside there here. So wasn't able to kind of get that slider there. Wasn't able to get that under control and broke away from him a little bit there. So 1-0 count now. But Amon tries to work him with the curve this time. 1-2, 2-0 count here. Courtwright now up to the plate. Struck out his first time up to the plate. And again, Amon Tried him with the slider there, but that slider again broke outside, didn't break inside like how he wanted it. So 3-0 count here. Tries to get him with the fastball this time and was able to get that outside corner. 3-1 count to Cooper Courtright. And here goes the pitch. Courtright will foul that one off. So 3-2. Full count now. Full count, 2 outs here as Avoyelles Charter looking to see if they can get out of this inning here unscathed. And here comes the pitch. Courtright will foul that one off, and that will be right behind us. And hopefully that does not hit my car. All right, so 3-2 count there. 3-2, 2 outs. Courtright trying to see if he can extend this inning here. And the pitch. Outside, and he'll throw a walk there. So now he'll get on base this time around here. So Tyler Accordo now coming up to the plate here. He got this bottom of the first inning started off right with a solo home run. And the umpire talking to the benches here. And Accordo tried to check his swing there, but was not able to do so. So 1-0 count now to Accordo. As Isaac Amon trying to battle his way. He tries to pick off attempt, and Courtright gets right back to first base. Coming up next for the Vikings will be Luke Guillory, Alex Laborde, and Zach Dagerpont. And Accordo will hit that one, but that one will get to left field right there as Zach Dagerpont was able to catch that one to end the inning. So at the end of the second inning here, Grace Christian, no runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 left on base. Through 2 innings, Grace 3, Charter 0, and we'll be right back with GSPN in about 30 seconds. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we welcome you back to GSPN. This is Lamar Gafford here for tonight's game here at Merrill Blackburn Field at Josh Brown Stadium. We would also like to thank our folks over there at DBAT Alexandria for also sponsoring this game for us as well as they're doing all season long. Top of the third inning here, and for Avoyelles Charter, we have Luke Guillory. Then, of course, due up, we'll also have Alex Laborde and Zach Dagerpont. Inside there, so Guillory now has a 2-0 count here. Working his way to that right now. That'll be ball 3 there, so ball's a little 2 inside there, up and in. And that'll be 3-0 count here. There goes the pitch. Fires that one in there for a strike. So 3-1 count now. Also like to thank here, I see our guys here, KLB, Harrison Vapnek, checking out this game. Strike 2 there. So 3-2 count. Again, guys from KLB checking out this game. Harrison Vapnek out here checking in the Grace Christian Warriors. We're going to try and see if we can get him up here, interview him for maybe a half inning. And got him for strike 3 there. So Guillory goes down. And now Barkle now has 5 strikeouts so far in this ball game. Alex DeBoard now coming up here for the Avoyelles Charter Vikings. And here comes the pitch. Strike. So strike now to LeBoard. Say one thing here about the Charter Vikings here. They make Teal look good. And you don't see too many teams wear teal anymore. But when you do, teams do make it look good there. LeBoard fouls that one off, and it's now an 0-2 count. As I said before, the only teams I can see that wear teal is Florida, old school Florida Marlins and the San Jose Sharks, and they definitely make that look good as well. Here comes the pitch, and he'll tip that one off, and that'll be 0-2 count. All right, here we go again, and the pitch. Inside there, so 1-2 count now. Zach Dagerpont will be due up here. Outside there, too. So 2-2 count. So here comes the pitch. Got him to swing at that one, and LeBoard. That'll be a drop third strike, but he still was able to get him thrown out there after that one. So now Markle, 6 strikeouts so far, and now Zach Dagerpont is now coming up to the plate here. And seeing if he can get a rhythm now against Markle. That'll be a strike there. So 0-1 count now. And here comes the pitch once again. Ball's going to be low there. So 1-1 count. For those also wondering here, too, the Grace Christian softball program, they're playing tonight, and they're up 6-4 already on Glamora in the bottom of the 4th inning. Here comes the pitch there, and Dagerpont will swing at that one, so that'd be 1-2 count. Markle trying to see if he can get lucky number 7 right here. Oh, and got to be inside there, but thank goodness Dagerpont able to get out the way there after that one. And so 2-2 count. And looked like that one was coming in hard. Ball is low there. So full count there. If Dagerpont is able to get on base, we get right back to the top of the lineup here for Avoyelles Charter with Trace Addison coming up. And Dagerpont will swing at that one, and that'll be another strikeout. So 7 strikeouts right now for Logan Markle. So lucky number 7 here for him. And basically, the top of the 3rd inning is as followed. No runs, no hits, no errors, none left on base. We go into the middle of the 3rd inning. Grace Christian 3, Avoyelles Charter 0. This is Lamar Gafford for GSPN. We'll be right back in 30 seconds. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll welcome you back from the Burn. Beautiful England Air Park in Alexandria, Louisiana. This is Mark Gafford for GSPN, and we're right back here. Grace Christian now leading 3-0 in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Coming up here for Grace will be Brady McDaniel. They'll have the heart of the lineup coming up will be Brady McDaniel, also Logan Markle, Talon Epnet, your 3, 4, and 5 hitters. The heart of the lineup here for this Grace Christian lineup here. And this part of the lineup can do a lot of damage. And McDaniel was one of the guys that did some damage in the first inning with a solo home run. He'll look at that one outside for ball one, so 1-0 count. And the pitch. That'll be a strike, so 1-1 count. Grace Christian right now sitting at number 4 in the Class B power ratings here, so that means at this point they would get a home playoff game. And 2, and McDaniel, he'll fly that one to left field, and that will be caught. That would be caught harmlessly by Dagerpont. So that'll be out number 1 there. He gave it a ride. Tried to see if he can make it 2 home runs for the game. But the wind, or lack of, was able to make it die down there at left field. So once again, we have Logan Markle now coming up to the plate. And the strike there. So 1-0 count down to Markle. Markle inside for strike 2 right there. So 0-2 counts. And here we go again. 0-2 now to Markle. But he'll get a ball right there as that goes outside. So 1-2 count there. As said before, Grace Christian now sitting at 4. And the pitch. That'll be 2-2 count. So again, you want to be right there at that 4 spot to see if you can get yourself 2 home playoff games in the playoffs, and you host that all-important quarterfinal game to get the Sulphur. And Markle, he'll hit that one to the left, and Dagerpont will be able to catch that one once again. So 2 outs there, 2 flyouts. Dagerpont was able to catch the ball for both of those flyouts there. Talon Epnet now coming up to the plates. Here. 2 outs. Bottom of the 3rd. Grace leading 3-0 on Charter. 1-0 count here. These same 2 teams will be playing against each other on Thursday, but that game will be in Mansura as the end of this 2-game series. And we got a 1-1 count now to Epnet. For the rest of Grace's games here, they have Southside here to Burn on Friday and Grant on Saturday. And Epnet will foul that one. And no, not foul that one. It's going to be fair to left field. And he's able to get that one in there for a single. So he didn't try to push it for second base. I guess we all kind of thought that was going to be foul. But good thing is he was able to get on base for a good hit there. And that's a good shot there. Again, the winds can be a little tricky, but then again, we have no wind. So, I mean, I don't know. Anyway, we got ourselves here Braden Wells. He fouls that one off right behind us. So that'd be 0-1 count. Again, we end out this series against Avoyelles Charter on Thursday. That will be in Mansura. As Epnet tries to get right back there after pickoff attempt. Southside will be coming here on Friday. And then on Saturday, we have Grant for a matinee game at 2 p.m. Wells, he draws a ball there. 1-1 count. So come out and support your Warriors. Also, your Lady Warriors will be at home all week this week as well. So come out and support them as well, as both teams try to make their charge towards the playoffs and Sulphur. Also wanted to let everybody know, too, you can catch us on Warrior Diamond Weekly each Sunday at Calle Fuego in Pineville around 5 p.m. Get a chance to talk to Mark Roser, the softball coach, and also Josh Brown, the baseball coach. Wells will foul that one off, so he's now staying alive at 1-2. Here, if Wells is able to get on the base here, coming up next will be Gage Fuller. Here, coming up here. And once again, Wells staying alive there, 1-2 count. I keep on forgetting. Again, there's a net and there's a fence protecting me, but your first instinct is always, let me get out the way here so the ball does not hit me in the head. All right, here goes the pitch. Inside there, so that'll be a 2-2. And Epnet gets right back to first base here as they tried to pick him off. 2-2. Got twos all across. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. And here goes the pitch. Inside there. And once again, Wells battling his way to a great at bat here. For those scoring at home right now, this is the 8th pitch in this at bat. And he got him to swing there for strike 3. So now Isaac Amon. Now this is his 3rd strikeout of the ball game here. That ends the inning here. So for Grace Christian, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. And right now, Grace Christian leading comfortably, 3-0 on the Avoyelles Charter through 3 innings. This is Lamar Gafford for GSPN. We'll be right back in about 30 seconds to a minute here for the rest of the game. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome you back to the Great Sports and Programming Network. This is Lamar Gafford for GSPN. We're once again live here from beautiful England Air Park in Alexandria, Louisiana. Most affectionately called this here the Burn, Merrill Blackburn Field at Josh Brown Stadium. And once again, we through 3 innings. The Warriors, your Warriors are now leading 3-0 on the Avoyelles Charter Vikings here. Little update on the softball game. Glenmora now leading Grace Christian 8-6 in the game here. In that game, a 4-run 5th inning for Glenmora to take the lead here. And we'll keep you updated on that ball game going on at Lady Warrior Field in Alexandria. Now up will be Trace Addison So now up will be Trace Addison. And we got ourselves a little situation there with the camera. So we're going to try and see if we can restart the camera here. So until we get that, we'll do this thing audio here. So 1-0 count now. And fouls that one off. Addison will foul that one off, and that'll be a 1-0 count. It looks like we got our camera right back up and going, so that's a good thing. Addison inside there, so 2-1 counts here. So we have Trace Addison, Jacob Amon, and William Miller due up in the top of the 4th inning here. And they're going to see if they can fare better against Markle this time up the bat. 3-1 count now. Logo has faced the minimum 9 batters so far in this ball game. Inside, and he'll walk that one there. So That'll be Marco's second walk of this ball game. So, like I said, he's faced so far the minimum 9 batters leading up to this one here. He had given up a walk, but was able to get that out back on a pickoff attempt. So now it's 10 batters here. And this is as Jacob Amon chases and gets himself an 0-1 count now. Amon was the one that started the strikeout train here in this first go round. And Addison caught napping there on first base and gets out there on that pickoff attempt. So for the second time, Marco walks the batter, but is able to get that out back on a pickoff attempt, and that's very huge there. And another strike right there for Amon. So now Amon facing a 0-2 count. High there. Now be 1-2 now. And here comes the pitch. Strike. Got him on the corner and got him this time looking. So now that's 8 strikeouts there for Logan Marco here. If we're scoring at home, so far dealing in this game here as well. And you can see why the future is bright for this young man here. All right, now up is William Miller, first baseman for the Vikings. Miller also struck out the first time that he was up to the plate here. And that's going to be a hit by pitch there. Tried to work him inside there, but got a little bit too far away from him there. So Miller able to get on base. And so now you got Bronson Tassan coming up to the plate. And the pitch. Marco gets Tassan the chase there for strike 1. 1-0 count. 0-1 count. Miller with a decent lead. And Tassan, another strike there. So 0-2 count. Hitters. Good pitchers count now. Everything is on the table here if you are Logan Marco. And the pitch. Another hit by pitch right there and inside there. And you can kind of tell the Vikings are kind of crowding the plate up there a little bit there, trying to see if they can get on base. And so far that has been working to their advantage. I mean, that's, again, a way to get on base. Either hit the ball or get hit. All right, so we got ourselves 2 runners on base here. William Miller at second base, Bronson Tassan at first, and now up Braylon Lacombe. Marco gets him to chase there for strike 1. 0-1 counts. Despite all of this, Marco has still been dealing here. 8 strikeouts in this ball game. And Lacombe will take time. So now facing an 0-1 count. He is inside the plate right here, too, as well. So inside there, 1-1 count. And probably after seeing, knowing the scouting report here is that Marco likes to throw these balls inside, and that's the reason why they're crowding the plate there, trying to see if they can either get on that way as well. Another time called now by Lacombe. Try to see if he can get Marco off of his rhythm there. Now we're ready to play baseball. And Lacombe swings at that one. So now 1-2 count here. Markle looking, trying to see if he can get the pitch that he wants. And here goes the pitch. Inside. And that's going to be another hit by pitch there. The ball bounced, but it still hit the batter, and that means he'll still be able to take his base. So now the bases are loaded here for Huck Hill. Huck Hill, the right fielder for the Vikings. And if he's able to get on base and drive in a couple of runs, he'll probably be the king of the hill here in Mansura. Inside there, and it gets away here from Wells, and Wells will try to see if he can tag him, but Miller is able to beat the tag, and the Vikings get on the board now, trailing 3-1 after that pass ball. And so that's a way to get you an RBI right there here if you're Huck Hill. Bronson Tassan at third base now. Hill chases that one, so that'd be 1-0, 1-1. Again, Tassan now goes to third after that pass ball. Lacombe is now at second after that pass ball. And Hill takes a strike there. So 1-2 count now. And here comes the pitch. Outside there. And so 2-2 count there. Wells was able to corral that ball right there. So good job there. 2-2. Top of the fourth. And got him to strike out there. Huck Hill fans away, and that he becomes strikeout victim number 9. And that'll be it here for the top of the fourth inning here. And those there, again, they're scoring at home. 1 run. And let's take a look here at the rest here. 1 run, no hits, no errors, and 2 left on base. But the Avoyelles Charter Vikings finally getting on the board in this one here as we get to the middle of the fourth inning. Grace Christian 3, Avoyelles Charter 1. This is Lamar Gafford for GSPN. We'll be right back in 30 seconds. And ladies and gentlemen, we welcome you back to GSPN. This is Lamar Gafford here, the Grace Sports and Programming Network. And once again, key game here in District 5B play between the Grace Christian Warriors and the Avoyelles Charter Vikings. Grace now leading 3-1 going into the bottom of the fourth inning here. Grace was able, the Avoyelles Charter able to get back on the board here after a pass ball, was able to score here, for Miller. So now 3-1 here, and Grace trying to see if they can get back up and running here with their bats here. So far, pretty good game here going on between two good rivals and two rivals that have won state championships over these last couple of years. Obviously, Grace Christian winning one and back in 2017. And, of course, Avoyelles Charter has won a couple in this past decade here. And so, again, two good programs, two good coaches as well. Coach Josh Brown for Grace Christian and Stu Regard for Avoyelles Charter. Now up will be Gage Fuller, right? And here we go. Fuller now facing a 1-0 count here. And the pitch. Fuller will tip that one, and that'll be 1-1. Update in softball here. Glamora leading 8-6 now in the top of the sixth inning. And they got themselves the bases loaded against Grace Christian. 2-1 counts now to Fuller. And the pitch. And that'll be outside there. 3-1 now. For Grace in that game, Winley Vincent, 3 for 3, 3 runs in that game. And Fuller will draw a walk here, and that'll get him on base here. So now up, J.P. Harrell. So we got Wells on first after the walk, and we have J.P. Harrell now coming up to the plates. Easton Marlowe is on deck. Fuller's on first base. Right, thank you. I don't know if it makes a difference. I got you. And Fuller able to get right back after that pickoff attempt. Ball gets away from first base, but he'll stay at first. All right, so J.P. Harrell still at the plate here. 1-0 count. Again, Fuller on first. And that is a pop-up right there. And first baseman William Miller able to come down with that one there. So Fuller will stay on first. And now Easton Marler coming up to the plate. There you go. That's a strike right there. So 0-1 count. Shout out to our sound person. She's doing a great job tonight. We were kind of talking about the music choices at the start of the game, and I was resting assured her, look, hey, they hit a couple of home runs. They got started early. That was because of you. All right, 0-2 count now. Here to Easton Marlowe. And that'll be outside for a ball. 1-2 count. One, two. And that'll be fouled off right there. When she was telling me Fuller was on first base, I kind of felt like playing a game of who's on first. All right, 1-2 count now. 1 out. Inside, and Baller will lean into that one and get on base there. So now Marler's on first, and Fuller is on second base after that hit by pitch. So now Cooper Courtright now coming up to the plate here. So Courtright struck out the first time he was at the plate, but he also drew a walk the second time he was at the plate. And he drops that in there for a strike. So 0-1 count now to Courtright. Get Fuller at second. Marler at first. Here comes the pitch. Courtright. He'll hit that one straight dead to center field. But Duke Gittery will catch that one there. And so the runners will return back to their places here. All right, so now 2 outs to go here. 2 outs now in the bottom of the fourth inning. And Tyler Cordo now up to the plate. Cordo 1 for 2. Last time that he was up, he had a fly out. But he was able to hit a home run in the first inning. And a strike right there. So 0-2 count now to Cordo. Runners on first and second again. And Accordo will look at ball one there. So 1-2 count now. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And we got runners on first and second. 2 outs. Accordo, good hit there to short. And shortstop will get the fielder's choice there. Flips it over to second base right there. So that was Jacob Abon to Alex Laborde to end that one. If you're scoring at home, 6-4 to close that one there. So again, to kind of close here, the bottom of the 4th inning here. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 2 left on base. Well, 1 left on base. So once again here, we got ourselves Grace Christian 3, Avoyelles Charter 1, going into the after 4 innings here. This is Lamar Gafford for GSPN. We'll be right back in a few minutes. All right, we are right back here in the top of the 5th inning. This is Lamar Gafford for GSPN. Tonight's game between Avoyelles Charter and Grace Christian. Grace leading 3-1. And now up to the plate here for Avoyelles Charter is Luke Guillory for the Vikings. Bottom third of the order coming up here with Luke Guillory, Alex Laborde, and Zach Dakerpone. Now coming up here. And here comes the pitch. Inside there for ball 2. So 2-1 count now. And Guillory will chase that one. So 2-2. So again, Charter got on the board in the 4th inning. And now 3-2 count here. Charter got on the board the 4th inning here with but still yet to get a hit in this ball game here. They've worked a couple of hit by pitches here just to kind of help themselves get a run on the board. And he'll foul that one off the mask. And that'll be 3-2 count there. I don't know which mask it was off of, but that does not feel good right off the bat. Right. And there you go. Strike right there from Logan Markle. Now, lucky number, 10 strikeouts now from Mr. Markle here and continuing to work his way here in this ball game. So Alex Laborde now coming up. Markle now 1-0 count. Making 1-1 count after getting him to chase there. And here comes the pitch. Strike. So 1-2 count there. Full count here. And Laborde will foul that one off. He'll stay alive at 3-2. So far, Markle 76 pitches in this one. So he's still been throwing as hard as he did in the 1st inning. And the pitch. Good throw there, but also a good hit there by Alex Laborde, who's able to get in there for a walk-in double after that hit to left field. And so far, right now, you got the tying run at the plate here coming up with Zach Dagerpont. Now up here for the Vikings. And as I said before, do not let this 3-11 record for Charter fool you. They've been in a lot of ball games so far this season. And Dagerpont shows bunt, and he'll take that one for a strike there. Like I said, they've been in some ball games so far this season. They've been in the ball games with Oak Hill a couple of times. They've been in a ball game against Buckeye. They've also been in a ball game against Pineville. So the ball has not been bouncing their right way here, but they have continued to work hard for Coach Stu Regard. And gets them to go back right there. So should be 0-1 counts. 0-1 count. No, 1-0 counts. As Dagerpont is up. Dagerpont showing bunt. And he'll foul that one again. So that'll be 0-2 count. 0-2 count. 0-2 count. So I was right the first time here. Glad for our umpire to tell me that I was right. See, it's a connection. We gotta have a connection right there. All right. And he's gonna show bunt here once again with 2 strikes still. And he was able to look at that one here, 1-2. You rarely see somebody show bunt when they get to 2 strikes. Sometimes the coach might tell him to swing away here, but he might trust his batter here in this case here. He's going to show bunt again. Inside. So that's the 2-2 count. All right, so here we go again.
Yeah. My husband watched
2-2. 2-2. 2-2 count, 1 out. Marco looking for 11 strikeouts right here. And he'll foul that one off, and that'll be an out due to strikes there on the bunt. And that's why bunting right there in that situation is a little bit tough there unless you can get the ball down. So we're going to have a mound conference now with Coach Josh Brown talking to Mark. And we're going to see what they're going to do here in this case here.
And I'm a teacher at Grace, so I was like, well, I'll just send Brandon to Grace. And so she came to Grace, and they're like, no, she can't play.
So while they did the mound conference, we're going to go ahead and take ourselves a break, and we'll see what the result of it. Well, getting ready to get off the mound conference here. Looks like Marco will stay in the ball game. And so now coming up here for Avoyelles Charter, they got runner again on second base. Addison now coming up to the plate. So top of the order there. And that'll be popped up there. By the way, that does go down despite not getting the bunt down. That does go down as a strikeout. So Logan Markle now up to an 11th heaven of strikeouts here in this one. Inside again. So 1-1 count now. Trace Addison. Last time he was up, he was able to draw a walk. Addison chases upstairs for now 1-2. So 1-2 count now. Markle, will he get number 12? That's going to be the answer right here. And here goes the pitch. Upstairs. It's 2-2 now. So 2-2 count. Grace 3, Charter 1. Markle looking for the pitch he wants. He got it. And he'll fire. Ooh. And that is they're gonna say strike. They're gonna say strike on that one. So hey, that's 12 right there for Logan Markle. And that'll end the inning right there in that one here. So okay, so okay. Well, let's see. Well, all right. Well, okay. So, we're trying to sort things out here once again. But again, as a result, Markle gets himself his 12th strikeout of the game. We're going to go ahead and take ourselves a break. Grace Christian 3, Avoyelles Charter 1. We're going to the middle of the 5th inning once again with GSPN. This is Lamar Gafford.
That's what he just told me.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, right back here from Merrill Blackburn Field at Josh Brown Stadium. This is Lamar Gafford here for GSPN and getting ready to get up here. Brady McDaniel coming up to the plate. Oh, have a strike right there. So 0-1 counts here for McDaniel. And the pitch. And McDaniel, he'll hit that. He'll get hit by a pitch right there, and he'll draw that one there. So that'll get him on first base. And now Logan Markle will come up to the plate. So Markle now up to the plate. 1 for 2 in this one. He's already scored a run. And Markle, 12 strikeouts on the mound so far tonight. Here. But he's also helped out his cause tonight, too, with a run. So 1-0 counts. By the way, Markle has thrown 90 pitches.
Me too. Who got that from me?
Yeah. Y'all are suffering servants.
Oh, yeah.
I would think that they may throw him against Grant, so we'll see if they'll limit the pitch here. But, again, we got to get there first. So 1-2 count now to Markle. And here comes the pitch. And Markle will be looking at that one there. So now that is going to be Huck Hill's first strikeout of the ball game there. And now Talon Epnet coming up to the plate.
Warriors, number 5, Talon Epnet.
Epnet 2 for 2 tonight. And it's crazy here that despite all the good hitting so far that Grace has had here, he is the lone guy here tonight with multiple hits. And he's looking to make that 3 for 3 tonight. Upstairs, 1 for 1, 1-1 now. Once again, we have Brady McDaniel. He's going to be at first base after that hit by pitch earlier in this inning. And Epnet, he'll fly that one to the right field, and Huck Hill able to come down with that catch for out number 2.
Now batting for the Warriors, number 8, Braden Wells.
Braden Wells now coming up to the plate here for Grace. Again, Brady McDaniel up in first base. And here comes the pitch. Wells, he'll take a look at ball 1. Still, you got an insurance run. That's a good thing here, but you got to feel like that Grace would love to get some more runs on the board here. 1-1 count. Like I said, they would love to get another run across the board here just to make it a little bit more comfortable here in a good game here against 2 good programs. Upstairs there, so now that's going to be 2-1. 2-1? Yeah, that's right, 2-1. And here comes the pitch. Upstairs again, 3-1 count now. Up next will be Gage Fuller, if we get there. And Wells, he'll fly that one up. And looks like that's going to be dropped there. So Lacombe misplaced that one as he kind of got that one caught up there in the lights. And that keeps this inning alive here for Grace Christian. So now it's Gage Fuller here, the lefty. Now up facing his Hill. And the pitch. And Fuller will fly that one up. And looks like Dagerpont will come down with that one there for the out there. So kind of to close out the inning here. No runs, no hits, 1 error, and 2 left on base. At the bottom, after 5 innings here, Grace Christian 3, Avoyelles Charter 1. We're getting very close here. We're getting to the 6th inning of this one here. Don't you dare turn that down. This is Lamar Gafford for GSPN. We'll be right back in a few. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we welcome you back to GSPN, the Grace Sports and Programming Network. I'm your host, Lamar Gafford, here for tonight's game between Grace Christian and Avoyelles Charter. Grace leading 3-1 through 5 innings. We get to the top of the 6th inning here, and still anybody's ball game here as Charter tries to see if they can try to get themselves an equalizer and Grace trying to see if they can hold on to this one here. An update on for the Grace Christian Lady Warriors here. Grace falls in that district game there, 8-7 to Glenmora, despite a 3-hit effort for Winley Vincent. She also scored 3 runs in the game. Bella Acre has 3 runs scored in the game as well, but just a tough loss there for the Lady Warriors as they look to shake themselves back against Avoyelles Charter next on Thursday. That game will also be on Lady Warrior Field. All right, now coming up here will be Jacob Amont for Avoyelles Charter. Yep, Jacob Amont for Avoyelles Charter. Amont 0 for 2. Struck out a couple of times here against Merrill. And he swings at that one there. So 0-2 count now. He does not want to be unlucky 13 here. And comes the pitch. And he gets him to swing there. And that'll be 13 strikeouts now for Logan Mark. So here we go again. We got ourselves now William Miller coming up to the plate. He'll foul that one off. So 0-1 count. Miller was the guy that scored in the 4th inning after a passed ball and able to get the Vikings on the board here. And Miller will swing a strike 2 there. Miller was able to get on base off of a hit by pitch. So now 0-2 count here. And Miller gets hit by pitch again. So now he gets back on the base here after all of that. And now Bronson Tassan now coming up to the plate. He also drew a hit by pitch the last time that he was up. All right, 0-0 counts. And Tassan will chase that one. So 0-1 here. Tassan representing the tying run at the plate here. Again, great ball game here so far for Merrill, and trying to see if he can pull this one away. Got him to chase there for again, strike 2. So 0-2 count now. And here we go. 0-2. 1 out. 1 runner on base. And got him to swing at that one for another strikeout there. So right now, another K there for Merrill, and he's now up to 14 in this one. And now we got ourselves 2 outs here as we get another runner up to the bat here. And Braylon Lacombe swings and misses there. 14 strikeouts here now for Logan Merrill. 0-1 count here. And the pitch. Got him swinging there again. So it's 0-2 now. And Merrill regaining his form. Here we go. The pitch. Up high. And so we're going to see if we can pick him off. And he is safe. So the ball does not get in there in time. They tried to see if he can catch him stealing, but was not able to catch him stealing. So Miller gets that stolen base there to second base. Runner in scoring position. Again, look home here up to the plate. And here comes the pitch. He is so far inside right here. And Lacombe, he'll drive that one up the gap between short and second base. And here comes Miller. He's going to see if he can get in. And he slides into the fit there. And then next thing you know, but Lacombe tries to get to second base. He gets out trying to get greedy there for a double. So Lacombe able to drive in a run, gets a hit. That drove in Miller, but he was out at second base as he tried to stretch that into 2. So Grace Christian 3, Avoyelles Charter 2. We still got a good game going on here into the middle of the 6th inning. Grace Christian now coming up to the plate here after 30 seconds here. This is Lamar Gafford with GSPN, and we'll be right back. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're right back here at GSPN. This is Great Sports and Programming Network. I'm Lamar Gafford, and we're getting to the bottom of the 6th inning here. And now coming up here is J.P. Harrell. So we got J.P. Harrell, and we'll have also coming up. So we got Easton Marler as well, and then we'll also have Cooper Courtright. Will be all up here in this inning. Tight game here right now. And Harrell fouled that one off. And it'll be a 1-2 count there. And this is the time of the ball game here where I feel like both managers would love to make this a chess match here. Harrell fouls that one off. And that'll be, again, 1-2 count. Like I say, but I feel like both managers would love to make this a chess match here. This is where strategy comes into play a whole lot. High there, so 2-2 count. This is where your small ball acumen really comes into play here, where shifts and hitting and timely hitting come into play the most. Good hit there by Harrell, and he'll drop that one in there. He'll get to second base, but that'll be it out there as Laborde able to fire that one in there to Miller. And that'll be out number 1 here. So scoring at home, 4-3. Easton Marler now coming up to the plate. It's swinging away here. So Marler 0 for 1 last time that he was up. 0 for 1's officially. Marler at 9 hole here. If he can get on base, you got the Grace top third of the lineup here. That's heart of the lineup here that's able to score and produce a lot of runs. And Marler, he'll chop that one, and it will go stay fair, and he will get in there safely after all of that here. So Lacombe fielded it, but was not able to get that throw to first base to Miller. And so that's enabled Marler to get to first base. So now Cooper Courtright coming up to the plate. And as I said before, this top half of the lineup here for Grace, very dangerous. They can score runs in bunches if they can. And we've seen this happen a whole lot this season. 1-0 count now in this one. Courtright 0 for 2, but again, top of the lineup for a reason here for Grace. And he dropped that in there for a strike. 1-1. And this would be a perfect time for him to get a big hit there. And there's a lot of space. It looks like we got ourselves a time here as Charter will now get to a mound conference. As I was saying here, Looks like there's a lot of space with the way the outfielders are playing a little deep. If he can drop that in there between the infield and outfield, that will definitely help out his cause, and that will definitely put a runner in scoring position here. All right, so 1-1 count now. And the pitch. Good hit there by Courtwright. He'll fly that one up to right field, and that will be, and they'll get a chance to come down with that one there. So now coming up, Tyler Ricardo.
Number 3, Tyler Ricardo.
Coming down with that catch was Guerrero. And Ricardo, he'll fly that one to second, and a good catch there by K. Guerrero. Wow. Amazing catch there. Had to jump up there to reach that one. As I was trying to look for his name for that last play to give him some props there, he makes another good play right there as a web gem. Saves a hit there for Ricardo. So now we get into the end of the sixth inning here. Grace Christian 3, Avoyelles Charter 2. This is a very tight game coming up here, and we'll see if the Warriors are able to hold serve here in the top of the 7th. This is Lamar Gafford for GSPN. We'll be right back in about 30 seconds here. Don't you dare turn that dial. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're welcoming you back to GSPN. This is Lamar Gafford for the Grace Sports and Programming Network. Sorry about that. If you were looking for those plays there in that 6th inning there, we had the screensaver on. Sorry about that, guys. But just trust me on that one there. K. Guerrero, great catch that he had here to get Tyler Ricardo of a hit. So coming up now here for Avoyelles Charter, and we got ourselves a good situation here. And that'll be a bunt. And it gets past Ricardo there. So a good bunt there by Huck Hill. And now that gets a runner on base here. So now Luke Guillory now coming up to the bat. This is going to be a interesting one here. Tying run now on first. And Guillory, he'll bunt that off. Ricardo will throw to McDaniel. He'll get there for the first out there. But that moves Hill to second base. So he did his job there on that sacrifice bunt. All right, 3-2 now. Once again, 3-2. Grace Christian holding on to this one. One out here. We got now Alex Laborde coming up to the plate. On deck is Zach Degrapone. Marco would love to try to get out of this jam here. And the pitch. Umpire asked if he went. He did not, so 1-0 count. So here we go. Marco looks, fires, strike. So 1-1 count there to Alex Laborde. Once again, Huck Hill. Huck Hill at second base after a sacrifice bunt. And here comes the pitch. outside, so that'll be 2-1. 2-1 there. To Alice Laborde. Markle already with 14 strikeouts tonight. And now facing the 3-1 count there to Alex Laborde. So 3-1 here. Coming up. 1 out. Top of the 7th inning. 3-2. Grace Christian. And Laborde will foul that one off. So that'll be now full count here. 3-2. 3-2 count there. So full count. 1 out here. Markle looking to see what he can do against Laborde, if he can win this matchup here. And the pitch. 15 strikeouts now for Logan Markle. And it comes at a great time there. So now 2 outs here in the top of the 7th. Yeah, that's right. Put another K on that one there. 15 Ks right now for Logan Markle. Looks like we got ourselves a time. Coach Stu Regard making a bit of a lineup change, I think. And yes, he will make a lineup change. So that'll be number 9 coming in here. So that means John Ducote. John Ducote now will come in here for the Avoyelles Charter Mustangs. So John Ducote now coming in here. Huck Hill is on second base. So you have the Ducote as the 9-hole hitter for the Vikings. And here comes the pitch. Outside. So that'll be 1-0. 1-0 now for Ducote. And here comes the pitch. And the pitch. Inside there for a strike. 1-1 count now. 1-1, 2 outs. This is high stakes here. And here comes the pitch. Got him to swing late there, and that's 1-2 now. So John Ducote now facing a 1-2 count. Logan Markle, 15 strikeouts. Would love to see if he can get number 16 right here to end this one. Inside, that'll be a ball, but Huck Hill able to take third base as a result. So Ducote, you got to think if he can get this one in play, and they got right center field shaded in to right a little bit here. Here comes the pitch. Got him stringed, and that'll be the ball game. Logan Markle with 16 strikeouts, and his last 2 strikeouts came at a great time of this game here. Grace Christian able to come away with a 3-2 victory against Avoyelles Charter. What a gem by Logan Markle. 16 strikeouts, but none more important than those last 2 right there to end this ball game. And man, this one had me sweating. First off, hats off to Avoyelles Charter. A strong performance there for them as well. This is still a good team that has been in some ball games here. And look, Coach Stu Regard, he has a great program right here. But man, Grace had to really fight for this one here. Came away with those 3 runs in the first inning here. And after that, trusted their left arm here of Logan Markle, who came away with 16 strikeouts. We'll be getting a chance to talk to some of our guys after this one here, too. Obviously, we'll talk to Coach Josh Brown. We'll also talk to Logan Markle after that performance as well. We'll also try to see if we can get Brady McDaniel and also Tyler Accordo and anybody else that Coach would love to try to get us here once again. But big win here in district play as Grace Christian now moves to 20-1 and now goes to 4-1 in district play and keeps themselves alive in that Class B here again. And as the song says, Grace wins every time here. And the Grace Christian Warriors won tonight here. 3-2. once again here for GSPN. This is Lamar Gafford here for GSPN, and we'll be right back with those interviews in about a few minutes here. So don't you turn that down. We'll get a chance to talk to some of those guys here for the Warriors. And by the way, the Warriors have a game against Avoyelles Charter on Thursday, so be on the lookout for that one as well. Again, we'll be right back with those post-game interviews. Don't you turn that down.